Welcome back to another one of these videos. My name is Roman, and yes, you read that title right, but please note, this is not a hate video on Black Ops 3. Let me explain. I need to take you back to what I'd argue was the golden era of life and arguably gaming too. 2015 through 2017 were genuinely some of the hottest years for zombies, ranging from literally every DLC being an absolute banger from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. To an extent, mind you, Zetsubo didn't really grow in the community until recent years, haha, pun intended, lol. The concepts for the maps were arguably all original, apart from literally one map being a remaster, which was the Giant, and arguably Revelations, but that map was unique in its own way, to the point that you can't say it wasn't original, in my opinion at least. Zombies Chronicles extended the game's lifecycle tenfold and rose to the top of the PlayStation Store charts, where it then sat at the top for the entire rest of that season. The outcry for a DLC 5 finally came to fruition, and we had a set of 14 maps by the end of the game's lifecycle. This time period is arguably when Zombies was king of Call of Duty, quite literally, as it sat at the top of the PlayStation Store. It set the game in stone to be the best story-driven Zombies game we've ever had in the history of the game's development. This, for the time, was good. We were fully expecting to not get another Zombies mode for at least another 2 years, so having 14 maps to play in the meantime really gave players and content creators alike a lot to work with in regards of replayability and the different video ideas that people were coming up with. It felt like the game was never going to get boring, and that still clearly remains prevalent today. It still remains as people's go-to Zombies experience, even forgetting about the workshop. Some people just genuinely enjoy the maps that much that they'll hop back on. It also still remains for content creators, as you can clearly see on today's YouTube scene for COD Zombies, with some of the bigger content creators like FPS Psycho and arguably the biggest modern debut, Chrism, please come back and make videos, please, raking in hundreds of thousands and even sometimes millions of views on these older games. And thanks to YouTube and platforms alike, these older games were reaching audiences that had never seen it before. Platforms like TikTok also really helped out with stuff like this, because people were making what essentially were just memes about the game and about the mode, but it was still reminding people that this game existed, and if they forgot about it. The concept of BO3 has stuck with everyone's minds for the idea of COD Zombies, and this is why it's actually becoming such a problem. And I tell you what, me and you are going to start having problems if you don't go down there right now and press that like button. And while you're down there, just press that subscribe button, turn it from red to grey. You know you want to. Come on, please, we're trying to get 2.5k by the end of the month. So, where actually is the bar for Call of Duty Zombies in modern day? Milo, or Mr. Ruffle Waffles, recently put out a video declaring his honest thoughts about the release of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies and the trailer reveals and all the information that we've seen regarding the game. It's a very good video. I recommend you go check it out in the card above. He discussed that the community right now is divided up into 4 rather than 2 different segments. We have the Outbreak fans and the round-based fans. We know this. In addition to this, they also have their respective hardcore and casual players. I've made this diagram on screen that he showed on his whiteboard, just kind of like as a digital form, but let it be known that Milo actually really came up with this concept, and I really like it actually. It's why I'm including it in this video. The bar for zombies is in many different places depending on the person and their playstyle. For example, the bar for someone who started playing in Cold War Zombies as their first game will be substantially higher and different for someone who started playing in World at War. The demand for content will also be different depending on their favourite type of playing, whether it be traditional round-based or modern Outbreak. Although that the data apparently shows that the split between Outbreak and round-based players during Cold War's lifecycle was 50-50, I really cannot see that being the truth. Round-based players, I feel, have always had a bigger influence over the opinion of the new zombies every year and the distaste for the new mode, whether or not it's the best fucking thing they've seen in their lives, myself included. As you can see, my many videos showed my dislike for Modern Warfare 3, despite the fact I'm going to be playing that shit this year because I get it as a gift off my parents. First world problems. This hardcore round-based section of the community has this standard for zombies because of Black Ops 3. The game was genuinely too perfect, and I don't think that could ever be a fucking sentence or a bad thing, but here we are. And because of this game's influence on the section of the community that arguably has the bigger voice, the zombies community is constantly either at a stalemate or in a conflict with new versus old players. It means anything but BO3-esque content is automatically rejected and doesn't even stand a chance. The arguments are literally as old as time. We want the old zombies back, only to be argued back by new players saying they need to innovate every year. But in summary, Black Ops 3 accidentally set the bar too high for anyone to argue against it. It's why, in my opinion, Black Ops 4 was completely and utterly despised by the community on all fronts. The man behind Black Ops 3's success, Jason Blundell, couldn't even step up to it and was the man behind all of the ether maps in that game. I am a firm believer that if BO3 didn't exist, BO4's reputation would actually be a completely different ballgame. It's the leading reason why Cold War is seen as completely mid, despite the fact it literally innovated the most content we've seen in years. There's no excuse for Vanguard being absolutely shit. There was no two ways about that game. Was absolutely the definition of a learning learning curve. But a silver lining to that game was Shinonuma, so you guys can be the judge of that one. BO3's success sealed the fate of all of its successes and arguably failures. The community's division alongside desire to return to form is going to continuously cause conflict. You can't appease everyone alongside this. Activision does not care an ounce for what the community actually want. Outbreak-style gameplay is what brings in the most players from Warzone, and in turn brings in the most money and the most bundle purchases. So let me just take a step back and recap what we've just gone over. We've gone over why Black Ops 3 was such a success from the beginning, and we've just gone over there why the bar was set far too high by it because the game was too perfect. Like I said before, I didn't think that could ever be a sentence, but it's the best way I've found that I can really describe this situation. Will that bar ever come down? The biggest question after my big shill monologue in your head right now is probably, are people going to understand this? Probably not. Despite saying the fact that I'm not knocking BO3 in any way at the start of this video, I guarantee you there'll be people saying I am. All the CODs will always reign supreme in my head, and that's because of another factor: nostalgia. These games and the memories that people have with them range from person to person and age to age. It's another massive factor that plays into how older games are remembered as if they were subjectively good. Black Ops 3 was an extreme example of a subjectively amazing game, and due to that, it has created so many amazing memories and opinions of itself through its player base. So for these people, including myself, I've kind of accepted the fact that this bar will probably never come down, and I'll never experience the same thing I did back in 2015. Booting up Shadows of Evil for the first time, you know, looking at Gobblegum for the first time, all that stuff. And although this video has took a bit of a morbid tone, it's not all that bad, honestly. Learning to look at negative situations and take some sort of positive thing out of them is an amazing skill to have, and it can apply to shitty releases, or what people would class in this community as a shitty release, is something that's not so bad after all. Although Zombies manages to bring in little to no revenue for Activision, the studios each year still manage to incorporate it into new titles. Am I happy with the way it is? No, of course I'm not. Why is Zombies on a Modern Warfare title? Why is it just Cold War assets ported over to an MW engine? I could go on and on. I did that in my other video. It'll be in the card above my head if you want to go watch it after this one. I promise I'm nearly done. But at least it's something to play, honestly. Treyarch and Activision could have confidently probably stopped Zombies after Black Ops 4 after its absolute dumpster fire of a way to end off the Ether storyline. So I'm genuinely quite grateful that we do see it return despite the fact it's not what it once was. As for new players, the game itself is just getting started. The majority of new Zombies players are now most likely also Warzone players, and for them the bar is set at a level where this is the standard for them. It's just Cold War but in MW, and that's okay for them at least. I'm not trying to sound like I'm making you guys seem alien, but to a lot of people in this community, your opinions do seem that way. But you need to remember that opinions are subjective. People can enjoy what they want to enjoy. But then again, there are angry mobs on the internet that will probably conform you into thinking the other way around, so just keep your head level is all I'm saying when it comes to stuff like this. As long as you're having fun, that's what's important. Accepting the fact that Zombies will never peak as hard as it did in 2015 through 2017 is something that I've come accustomed to. And my opinion of Black Ops 3 hasn't changed at all. In fact, I respect the game that little bit more now, as it's genuinely Treyarch's magnum opus of what they can do. It set the bar so high, it fucked up the rest of their games. And my opinions still stay how they were. Although I'm not happy with MW3, I'm willing to try it out, and if I do enjoy it that little bit, you'll see it in the gameplay. If I'm not, I'll probably be slumped over on my desk crying in a ball. And with all that said, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. I did put a lot of time and effort into this one. I will literally show you screenshots of my fucking Apple Notes that I'm reading off my laptop right now. And although it's short and I probably could have turned this into a video essay, I like making these short, quick fire 10-minute videos that I can get out for you guys. I feel like I pack a lot of information into a short amount of time, and that's what I really enjoy about my own content. And I think that's what you guys enjoy too. So if you guys really did enjoy this video, please drop a like on it and let me know down in the comments below what your opinion of this is. I'm eager to know, and even if you completely disagree with me, I'm still open ears. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, why don't you subscribe and flick that notification bell on as well so you're notified for the next upload. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member today. You get exclusive videos and exclusive previews of new videos, and it's only £1 a month. With all that said, I thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you all in the next video.